Joni Gay, are you hearing me? Marvis, are you hearing me? Can somebody let me know that you're hearing me? Who is there? Okay, you are hearing me. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you know it. Thank you all for joining. I see a lot of you are actually on LinkedIn. Awesome, awesome. Uton, Marvis, Marshallie, Elton, Joni Gay, Sharifid, awesome. Welcome all of you. Happy to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, Renee Cole, thank you. If you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please run on over quickly to subscribe so that you can stay abreast of what's happening with Talent Box and in the space of career opportunities as well as recruitment. And tonight, I have a lovely guest all the way from Vistaprint, and I'm pretty sure that you have heard of Vistaprint, ladies and gentlemen. They sponsored our segment last week, and this week our segment is actually sponsored by Toyota Jamaica. And later on, you will be hearing from Toyota Jamaica. So we will be looking at tonight what a recruiter looks for in a candidate. With no further ado, I'm going to be bringing on stage my good friend, if I may, Danica Matili, all the way from Vistaprint. Welcome to the show, Danica.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you for having me tonight. I must say that I love what you're doing. I hope it touches a lot of persons and helps a lot of persons.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very, very much. Listen, we can't thank you enough. We know you're busy. We know you have a team to run, etc. So I'm really grateful that you took the time out of your busy schedule to really come on the show tonight. And so we're going to kick things off. Tell me a little bit about who you are so that my viewers can have an idea and understanding as to why you're qualified to talk to us about what a recruiter looks for in a candidate.
Okay. Wow. So that's a heavy one. But so I've been with Vistaprint for 8+ years. I've been recruiting for them for 6+ years. I've worked on many roles. I have helped with hiring for agents for the past 6 years. I'd say maybe about 500 or so agents. I've looked at tons of resumes. Of course, not just the entry-level positions, but I've worked on multiple other roles. So I think I'm confident that I know a thing or two about what to look for in the candidate.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much, Danica. And so, to kick things off in terms of what a recruiter is looking for in a candidate, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of questions from job seekers, and I see a lot of recruiters, HR practitioners joining in as well. They can chime in as well. But my first question to you, we cannot overemphasize the fact that we're in a pandemic and a lot of things has changed in terms of how we recruit as recruiters, as well as how job seekers search for jobs and how they're showing up for job opportunities as well. So can you tell me, what are some things that job seekers must be doing differently now based on what's happening?
Okay, yeah, that is a really good question, and I'm so happy that you asked that. We are all aware of how COVID has negatively impacted us. A lot of persons have either lost their jobs, they're working reduced hours, and there are a lot of persons that have been looking jobs and just finding it really hard to find something. So, what are some of the things that I believe candidates can do now? Check job boards. look to see really what is out there. Also, not every company will list their job on a job board. So if you are interested in a specific company, go to their website, go to their career section, and look what is there. Also, what you can do is network. So, if there is a specific company that you would like to work with, you might know persons that work there, or you might know someone that knows someone that works there. So, you can find out through basically the grapevine to see where is hiring, but check the job boards, update your resume. And one I think one of the most important things we can do now is learn skills, learn new skills. There are different schools online that you can learn, or, different websites that you can learn new skills from. There are tons out there. If you're not good at Excel, you can brush up on your Excel skills if you have the resources to do so. You also want to update your resume, so have your resume ready. Another thing is, I know it's hard when you are applying and you're not getting that call back, but stay ready. If there is a position that you've applied for and you're interested in it, rehearse answering, almost expect that the call is going to come in any minute. And so, you are ready to answer those questions and know how it feels when you get that call and a recruiter is asking questions behind questions, and it might make you nervous. It might, knock you off your feet a bit, but stay ready. Rehearse those questions that you are expecting. And I don't mean rehearse the answers, but think about some of the important things that you want to highlight to a recruiter should they call.
Awesome. And I love that because once you are applying for a job, you must have it in the back of your head that there is a potential that a recruiter might call you. And quite often, what I find is that a lot of people, they will apply for jobs, but yet they don't clearly say, maybe via email or even a voice message, that I'm only available from after 5 p.m. every day. A lot of times
Right.
this call and they miss them,
Mm-hmm.
and so the job seeker will miss that opportunity. I want to ask you a question off the bat, but tell me, and this is because of an experience I had earlier on today,
Okay.
where, and this is a real experience that happened today. Somebody applied for an administrative role,
Uh-huh.
and the advertisement did not say that the candidate needs to use the candidate needs to submit a cover letter. So that
Okay.
candidate brought in a resume. The advert did say what you need: a resume, you need ID, TRN, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
and any additional information. That's what the advert said.
Okay.
So the person brought in ID, NIS, TRN, resume. Lo and behold, the person received a call. I've never seen this happen. The
Mm-hmm.
person received a call today by the hiring manager. The hiring manager is saying, "Where is your cover letter?
Wow.
You had a cover letter. We're disqualifying you from the process." And it didn't state that there needed to have been a cover letter.
Yeah, that was
So
a little rough. I
I
have.
was thinking, yes. So my question is then, is cover letter still relevant?
So, both of us are recruiters. So I'll ask, you to give your take as well. But to be
Mhm,
honest, as a recruiter, for some roles like me, maybe the administrative role, I would have read the cover letter to see
mhm.
how the sentences are put together, to see how the paragraphs flow, and maybe other things that I can pick up from a cover letter if I'm looking for like an administrative role. But to be honest, no, not all the times. Most of the times,
Yeah.
90% of the times, I don't look at the cover letter. We go straight to the resume. We look at the experience. We look at the qualifications. How about you? Do you say out of 10? how many cover letters do you look at if you look at 10 applications?
Probably none.
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
yes, yes, yes. Again,
I
it
have
depends on the role, you know.
it.
So I thought it was very unfair, and I coming to you, I thought it was very unfair for that company to not state in the job advert that you need to have a cover letter, but yet is disqualifying those who apply by saying you should have read in between the lines. And I'm like, but it doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah, I agree. A cover letter normally, goes in with the resume, like it's normally the first thing that somebody puts together. But I honestly would not disqualify them, especially if they meet the all the other requirements. I wouldn't disqualify them for that. But
Exactly.
um,
Thank
you
you.
know, I don't know the thought process, and I really don't know. I wouldn't support it, especially because they didn't put it out in the ad. But it. I don't know their thought process, so
Yes.
I would
Well, I
not
know
take
the
your
thought
part.
process.
Yeah.
But let's move on. Let's move on. So what is most important to you as a recruiter when you look at a resume? What is most important and what is least important?
All right, that's a good one. The most important thing for me is your experience and how you are able to highlight or really capture what you've done throughout your career. If you don't have any experience, that's okay. Like, some persons coming straight out of school, that's all right. Highlight your courses and how they are relevant to the job that you're applying for. A few other things that I definitely look out for. Um, I would say the how long you stay at a workplace,
Mhm.
especially for the call centers. You want to look at how persons are moving around. So I look at your experience, the quality of your experience, the length of time that you're spending at places. Also, one of the things that I wanted to highlight, or want to highlight for that question, is a lot of times people shy away from adding their CXC grades or their CSEC grades. But if that is the highest level of education that you have, it's good to put it on it, because for some jobs they might require a one or two in English, and you might
Yeah.
have a three. Another thing too, sometimes candidates put like math on their resume and they have a four. So it is important to highlight your experience and your qualifications properly. Another thing is I like to see facts instead of fluff. So a lot of persons put on their on their resume that they are hardworking, or a team player. Tell me what you have done in the resume and let me determine that. um, a proper layout of the resume. It's very important. Your resume really is a reflection of you, and it should be well put together. So there are many different ways that you can, put it together. There are different templates online, as well as you can use professional service to help you compose a resume. So I like when a resume flows, and it doesn't have a lot of grammatical errors. Another thing is, don't just list companies that you've worked for, but list the roles. So, for example, myself,
Yeah.
I'm now a senior recruiter with Vistaprint, but what other roles have I had since I've been
Mhm.
here for 8+ years?
Mhm.
Um, Also, ensure that you have your contact details clearly shown on your resume. Today, I was looking at a resume, and at the top of it, so the head, I guess it's a header, is in a different color. It was purple, it's not the standard white background, and it was purple, and I couldn't see the contact details. So you want to make sure that you're applying. If you're shortlisted, the recruiter can reach you. Also, it is not as important, but um, use a professional email address. So
Yeah.
I want to know some of the email addresses that we've seen throughout my time here. But again, it's not that big of an impact, but it does reflect something. And I think that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Really good point. I hope that those who are looking for an opportunity, they have listened and they are taking notes. And there are times when we job seekers will approach me and say, "Oh boy, there's so many ideas surrounding what's the ideal resume." Right?
Mhm.
And one recruiter says this, and another recruiter says that. I'm confused. I've had job seekers say, I don't know what to do because I'm confused. Is there a general and idea so around a professional resume? And in fact, I figured you have shared that.
Mhm.
Most of the thoughts that you've shared are actually ideas and practices that a job seeker can put in place to ensure that they don't have to be changing the resume constantly here and there, apart from just changing it into a targeted resume when you're
Mhm.
applying for various roles as well. So thank you for that. Um, and I'm sure later on we can talk about opportunities that you have at Vistaprint. There are lots of people tuning in now
Okay.
who are interested in finding out opportunities that you have there at Vistaprint. My next question is, what should a job seeker do before they apply for a role?
Okay. What should they do before applying for a role? Now, a lot of persons take for granted. Let me rephrase that. A lot of persons apply to companies blindly and they know nothing about the company.
Mhm.
Um, but think about it this way, you know, you're spending what, 8, 9 hours of your day with this company. You know, you're looking for growth, you're looking for lots of different benefits from this company. So the first thing I would say is to read the job description, of course, and understand what the role is about. So look at the job duties and the requirements. If you meet the job requirements and the job duties are, you know, tasks that you are interested in and want to do, then do some research on the company. That is missing for a lot of us here. I don't think Americans do that as much, but do some research on the company. So there are websites that you can use to see ratings on how a company pays, the job security at the companies, and advancement as well, management, the culture of of the company, the work-life balance, the whole works. You know,
Mhm.
do some research. Google is there. You can look up for the company. You know, you really have to be careful of which companies you start working with. You know, and look to grow with. Check out their social media pages. A lot of companies have social media pages, and you can see how their employees, you know, you can see like different events that they're having and how they support their
Yes.
companies. If you know anybody that works at the company, you know, you can also talk with them to get some, you know, inside opinion on the company. After you do your research on the company, if you decide that this is somewhere that you want to grow with, then you know, go ahead and apply. Update your resume, of course, to match the job requirements. Call out the necessary things and apply.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching and listening to Talking Talent. We come to you live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. right across all major social media platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And this program is geared towards educating job seekers, providing career advice, as well as to be the source and the voice for all things recruitment. So you will find that a lot of recruiters will be on our program. In fact, everybody that has been on the program has been in a recruiter or in HR, so to speak. And this segment, I'm proud to say, has been sponsored by Toyota Jamaica. So I have a short feature. We're going to take a little break and we're going to play a short feature from our sponsor. And this is by Therese. who is a part of the HR team. So listen and enjoy.
My name is Therese White, budding HR professional and aspiring motivational speaker. I have been employed at Toyota Jamaica Limited for almost 5 years in the Human Resources Department. I decided to apply to Toyota Jamaica because I was seeking to align myself with an organization that would allow me to grow both personally and professionally. Understanding the vision of the organization, which is happy, competent people doing great things, and the culture of the organization, which encourages team members to be well rounded, I realized Toyota was indeed the organization that would allow me this opportunity. The application and interview process was standard and pretty seamless. I sent in my application and was called in for an interview. Once it was determined that I could be a good fit for the position and the company, I was called for a second interview. Here I am 5 years later. Now, my advice to anyone who wants to become a member of the Toyota Jamaica family is, and please quote me on this one, if you have the right attitude in everything, it sets you up for success in anything. My boss and mentor, Candice Walker, says she hires for attitude and trains for skill. So once you have the right attitude, you definitely will be a good fit for Toyota Jamaica.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And you have heard from one of our sponsors, Toyota Jamaica, and that is Miss White, telling us about the great culture there. And you are talking to Danica Matley, senior recruiter from Vistaprint. And we're talking about actually what a recruiter looks for in a candidate. So my next question, Danica, would be then, what should a job seeker do? Give me some tips then for a job seeker, a candidate during an interview.
Okay. So during the interview, a lot of times, and we do it, like I'm nervous right now, but a lot of times we allow nerves to, take over. During the interview, you want to be as composed as you can. You want to articulate your thoughts. You want to put them across so that everybody can understand them clearly. What do I look for in an interview? As Miss White said from Toyota, they hire for attitude, and they train on skill, and that is so important. As you can train somebody the skill, you can show them how to do the job, but if they have the wrong attitude, trust me, it's going to affect every little aspect of the job. It's going to affect team members. It's just going to affect everything. So that is one of the big things that Vistaprint looks out for: the right attitude, the right culture fit. Because here at Vistaprint, we're really big on culture. We're really big on supporting each other. Sheldon talked a little bit about how important everybody is to us as a company. We support each other, and we look out for each other. We live like a family, and honestly, that's the kind of person that we're looking for. We want somebody who's a team player. Of course, we will look to see those who have the skill, but I agree that the attitude is what we really look for, the right culture fit. And I think that sums it up. I think that pretty much sums it up. I mean, for different positions, you will look for different things, of course, in an interview. Like an administrative position will be a little different from an analyst position. So there are specific things that you look for in an interview. But the biggest one for us is really looking for the team fit.
Awesome. So on that note, talk to us then about the opportunities that are available at Vistaprint for that viewer, that listener who is so eager to join the team.
Okay. Currently, the positions that we have available, we have a data analyst. We're actually looking for 3 data analysts, and it is most likely gonna be remote. We're also looking for a lead analyst. We are also looking for an associate product specialist. That's the same thing as a product owner. And we are looking for managers, so operations managers, and also care specialists. So that is same thing as the customer service representative. Here we call them care specialists. So we're also looking for that as well. All of these positions are on our website.
Mhm. Okay. Can you list the website for those who are viewing and listening?
Sure, vistaprint.com/careers. Simple.
Okay. Okay, so vistaprint.com/careers for those who are interested. So tell us then, give us 2 or 3 tips for that job seeker who is interested in joining your team.
The biggest one that I think we should that I could talk about, I'll talk about one for now. Be ready for the interview. Many times we apply, and if I can think back, it probably caught me too. Be ready for the interview. If you are applying for the job, don't wait until I call and ask what qualifies you to be a recruiter or an administrative assistant or an analyst. Think about the things that you have done. We have to sell ourselves, and not a lot of times we do well on that, but we have to sell ourselves. We have to be able to talk about our experience. What is it that I've done here at Vistaprint since I've been here for 8 years? What impact have I made? And what is it that I've learned? What is it that I can do? So you want to think about your experience, maybe jot them down somewhere. Maybe talk to somebody that's close, do a mock interview. So basically, just be ready for that interview. Be ready to sell yourselves, and I think that is pretty much the biggest thing that you can do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. And I see Mr. Foot talking about the fact that, they need to be prepared, maybe in essence. It's rather hard to leave the nerves at the door before entering the interview room. However, job seekers will have to ensure that they should compose themselves during the interview. Job seekers like myself has to be able to bring across their professional perspective, I suspect, wherein they are certain will contribute to the company's success. And to your point, I figured that Mr. Foot is also, talking about calming your nerves. And a part of calming your nerves, as you've mentioned rightly, is preparing. It
Yeah,
is about practicing. A lot of prospective employees do not practice the interviews, do dry runs. The more you do that and the more you rehearse, the better it is for you.
exactly. Yes, that is true. That helps a whole lot. Not saying you should rehearse answers or,
Yeah,
come prepared to answer just a certain set of questions. Just really think about what value you are bringing and be ready to talk on that.
absolutely, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, you can type them and we will get them answered. We'll ensure that they're answered, as well as if you have any suggestions. You have been listening and viewing Talking Talent, brought to you by Talent Box Jamaica and Career JA. And tonight we have been speaking with Danica Matiley, senior recruiter from Vistaprint Jamaica. And Vistaprint has been doing an awesome job as it relates to attracting talent, as well as retaining and engaging talent. Danica, what's your final thoughts?
It would have to be about COVID. I know a lot of persons are feeling really down now. A lot of persons can't, especially in the tourism industry. It's really hard to find a job. Network, as I said earlier, network, invest in whatever skills it is that you can learn now, update your resume and stay ready because it's going to come through, it's going to come through.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm also seeing that Arlene is saying that I find too that the interviewer can help to calm the nerves. Absolutely right. Arlene, there are times where the recruiter is not there to drill. you know, it's also about showing up real and authentic and calm and genuine so that you can get the job seeker in the calmest possible mind frame of mind so that they can answer perfectly so you can judge them better, so to speak. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree. As recruiters, um, we have that responsibility. I honestly believe that if we realize a candidate is experienced, we can put ourselves in their shoes and realize that, if we were in the same spot, maybe we would have been as nervous. So, pick up on certain signs. And if you hear somebody stuttering or they're unable to get their thoughts out, they're making mistakes with pronouncing simple words, then you can stop. You can talk with them a little. I love and COVID has changed things so much, but I used to really love the face-to-face interviews because you can see the body language, you can see that they're nervous, and I love to stop and just talk to them about anything. Oh, was it getting here today? Boy, taxi rough. Just kind of showing them that you are, you understand. So yes, I agree, Arlene, that recruiters can help to make it easier. One of the things that, when you asked about the interview, like what are some of the things that we look out for the interview, that is also a part of it, listening to how they sound on the phone screen, looking at how they are during the interviews and if in a face-to-face interview. Some behaviors are, not acceptable, like
Yes,
you're
absolutely.
sitting in front of the recruiter and you're maybe on your phone or you're slouching or you're just looking everywhere except at the recruiter. There are some things like with your body language that is not acceptable. Um, for me, I will try to see, is it that they're nervous and this is how it's coming out, and I might address it and see how we move forward. Some of the times it really comes down to them being nervous. So we have a big part to play as recruiters to make sure that the candidate brings across themselves the best, or to help them in the best way that we can.
Absolutely, absolutely. I definitely agree with you. And I would also say for those job seekers that are viewing us as well, it's a matter of also showing up authentic, and real. If you don't do well at interviews, let the recruiter know that, listen, I really don't do well at interviews. I'm extremely nervous. So I'm just going to be asking you for 30 seconds so I can get my thoughts together, get my words
That's
together, and then you answer.
Yes, that is true. Let it be known. And my experience here is a lot of times we have persons that will say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous," or they were rushing because they almost missed the taxi or missed the time for the interview, and so they're still so they don't have it together. Yes, just ask for the time. Just give me 2 seconds, please. Let me just get myself together. Let me put my thoughts together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't know
Absolutely.
any recruiter that is gonna be too harsh and not give you that time to ask for it.
Yes. Yes. If they're too harsh, it might be indicating that that's not the company for you.
I agree with you.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening and watching Talking Talent. Happens here every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. across LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And we talk about all things career. Next week, we will be joined by Lysandra Rickard, CEO of Soul Career, and she will be talking to us about career changing, switching your careers, and passionate pursuits. So, for all of you who are, or I won't say stuck, you're currently in a career and you're looking to switch, not going to say stuck, and you need um, some help in terms of transitioning, then next week you must join us as we talk about switching careers and passionate pursuits. Tonight, however, we've been talking to Danica Matley, senior recruiter of Vistaprint, and Vistaprint has been doing an awesome job. I'm a little bit biased when it comes on to Vistaprint because I was on the phone a couple days ago and somebody brought up Vistaprint. He was saying that look at what Vistaprint is doing. They have been able to attract the best and to keep the best. So it must mean that you've been doing something well. And we're so proud. We're happy. We're not a part of the family, but we're a part of the family.
Exactly, the extended family.
Exactly, the extended family. And so all of those who are on YouTube, thank you very much. Deb, Arion, let's see what he's saying before we go. Non-verbal as well, awesome. And Sharika Five, yes, if I pronounce that correctly. Thank you. We appreciate your kind gesture. Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I did ask you for your final thoughts, but 30 seconds to just wrap things up before we close.
Okay, I did answer. I was saying for the persons that are currently looking for jobs, persons who were affected by the pandemic, I'm saying keep going, keep applying, keep networking. You just mentioned that the session next week will be geared towards helping persons that are stuck. It might be that session that person should be tuning into now. Maybe they can change careers now. And maybe they'll be able to get some tips. So it's really keep going, keep applying. You will get something soon.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to take this opportunity to thank Danica Matley for joining us. Let me see some round of applause going in the comment section. Thank you, Matley. Danica Matley, thank you very, 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 very much. You need to come on the program again, so I can get used to it. And if there are any questions, you can still leave them in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure I'll answer them later on, or Danica will be able to answer them in the comments as well. Danica, thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you. And it was my pleasure, Andrew.
Bye-bye.
Struggling to find the right candidate? Need to streamline your recruitment process with a simple and user-friendly platform? Introducing CareerJA, Jamaica's newest and most cost-effective way to hire fast and hire smart. As an employer, you can advertise your job, schedule and track interviews, chat with job seekers to build your employee brand, remove the recruitment hassle, and focus on your core business duties by using CareerJA today. CareerJA, connection made easy.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've been joined by, earlier on, Danica Matley, senior recruiter of Vistaprint. So join us next week, same time, same place, where we will talk about career switching or switching careers and passionate pursuits. And that episode, we will feature CEO of Soul Career, who is also the former CEO of the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship, Lysandra Rickard. So catch you next week, same time, same place. Walk good.